Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. When your relatives start throwing shade and sometimes punches, the only thing tougher than dodging their blows is not throwing one right back. Today in the rLounge, better tighten those gloves. Up first, one very satisfying right hook. Am I the a-hole for punching my brother-in-law at my sister-in-law's wedding? Hello, fellow Charlotte lovers. Sorry if this is long. There's a lot of drama in this situation. Let's start with some backstory. I, Derek, male 25, and my wife, Lily, female 25, have been together since we were 16. We've been married for almost 2 years. It will be 2 years in June. Remember that, it's important for later. Her family doesn't like me and constantly talks about how my wife can do better and that I will never amount to anything. I love my wife, but her family not so much. To be fair, she doesn't have the greatest relationship with her family, partly because of the way they have always treated me and her child wasn't the greatest. My sister-in-law, Donna, female 32, basically threw a tantrum when I asked my now wife to marry me in 2021. To quote her, "I'm the older sister. You can't get married before me. It will make me look pathetic." We just ignored her and continued to plan our wedding. Our wedding came and had some drama with my in-laws regarding it being a dry wedding. I don't drink, never have, never will, and my wife has had 2 drinks her entire life. So we decided if we aren't going to partake, then we weren't paying for her family to get drunk and upset her on a day that's supposed to be about her and our love. My best man, who is also a police detective in our own town, handled every drama that came up. I still don't know how to thank him. I guess I should clarify on her family not liking me. My wife and I grew up very different. My parents weren't rich, but I always had everything I needed and played as many sports and instruments as my heart desired. My parents are divorced now, but I had a great childhood. Her family met me at 16, and they instantly didn't like that I had all kinds of stuff and could do all these things, play 3 instruments fluently. They assumed and still do that my parents pay for everything. I got a car at 17 because I worked and saved for it. I have many instruments because if I wanted a new one or a different one, I saved and bought it. My parents set up savings accounts for me and my sister to do what we wanted with, whether that be for college or to move out. Her family says all the time that paying for your kids' college is ridiculous. I choose college and am now a private investigator. I also don't drink as stated, and they constantly try to pressure me into drinking and think it's stupid that I was never around it. My father-in-law is sober now, but was a very intense alcoholic and drug addict, which directly impacted Lily's childhood. My mother grew up with a father like that, so she made it her life's mission to never make her kids feel like a substance comes before them. Alcohol was not allowed near us in our house, which according to them didn't set me up for life. They assume my wife bought our house and pays for everything and all the nice things we have are from her or my parents. Yes, my wife makes more than I do. She is a boss lady and I couldn't be more proud. But we split everything basically 60-40. They wanted her to be with someone that had her background. According to them, I have had everything handed to me and I don't understand how the world works. Okay, so back to the story. Donna finally got engaged 6 months ago and just had to get married right away. So there was a lot of stuff that happened before and during the wedding. For starters, when the invitation came out, it only said Lily's name. I don't know exactly what was said to Donna, but she ended up telling Lily, "Oh, of course Derek is invited." Lily was very upset, but just chalked it up to Donna being Donna and moved on. Then came the wedding. Ceremony was fine. They got married and the place looked great. Then the pictures came and they called over everyone for pictures and my mother-in-law stopped me and told me that it's just blood family. So they take the pictures and the last one had my brother-in-laws, Kevin, wife, and other brother-in-laws, boyfriend of 5 months. Lily tried to call me over, but Donna said no, it's too many people already. So they took the picture without me in it. My wife was pissed and was ready to go off on her sister and her mother, but I said no and just ignored them. Then the first dance came, and then the DJ came on and said the newlyweds would like to ask for everyone that has been married for 2 years or more to come join them on the dance floor, and then people that are engaged and the people who are dating. Eventually, it was just us and the kids sitting down, because we've only been married for 1 year and 11 months. Honestly, at this point, knowing them for 9 years now, I wasn't surprised. But hold on, that wasn't the worst part. Lily has always had a problem around food. They would make her feel bad as a kid if she ate a lot, and then would bully her if she didn't eat enough. Stuff like, "You're going to turn into a whale if you keep eating that." Then, if she didn't eat as much, it was, "What, you don't like my cooking? If you don't eat, then starve." She still has trauma around food to this day. She was nervous about how they would act, so I couldn't get her to eat anything all day. When they brought out the buffet and called our table, her older brother, Kevin, who was almost 40, stopped her in her tracks and said, "Hold on, let the other guests get some before you eat it all." I stood there dumbstruck and looked him dead in the face and said, "Maybe instead of watching how my wife eats, you should pay attention to who your wife is letting into her pants today." It is known that she cheats on him with all kinds of guys, and at that very moment was flirting with the bartender. He went to punch me, and I grabbed his fist and hit him with my other hand, and he landed flat on the ground. Donna, seeing all this, yelled at me to get out. I started to walk out, and Lily started to follow me, and Donna stopped her and said, "No, you aren't going anywhere with that thug." My wife looked at her and told her to shut the F up, and that she was leaving with her amazing husband and going to strongly consider never talking to any of them again. Since then, her family has been blowing up her phone with, "Are you okay? Do you need help? Is he hurting you?" And mine with, "I'm a dirtbag," and they're pressing charges. And I'm a useless piece of crap that has brainwashed Lily. My best man, that is a detective, said even if they try to press charges, it was self-defense. He went to hit me, I defended myself, and then left without causing another scene. My mother, who doesn't like her family either, but loves Lily and treats her like her own daughter, said she loves that I stood up for Lily, but it was kind of an a-hole move to hit him and cause a scene at Donna's wedding, and I should probably apologize to Kevin and Donna just to keep the peace. I need advice. Am I an a-hole? Should I apologize to them? Ask for an opinion, and you will get one. First up, you, sir, you are a wonderful, amazing husband. You do not let anybody insult your wife. Your in-laws are horrible. Really, really horrible. But you are a hero. Well done. He deserved it and more. They are the a-holes, not you. I'm sorry for your wife that she has a horrible family. The next person says, "Not the a-hole. You have a spine of steel, sir. Way to go, husband." And one more. "Not the a-hole. You take a lot of crap from them and only said something when they came for your wife. That takes a lot of patience. If he didn't want to get punched, he shouldn't have tried to hit you first. You stood up for your wife when her brother crossed a line, and anyone who tries to throw a punch first deserves what's coming. Weddings are supposed to be about love and support, not about who gets to control the guest list or who can insult whom. As for apologizing, if it means smoothing things over with a family that clearly thrives on drama, maybe, but only if you want to. You've already been more patient than most would be. Honestly, keep protecting your wife and don't let them gaslight you into thinking you're the problem. They're the ones who made this mess, not you. When is it worth standing your ground in family conflicts, and when should you just walk away to keep the peace? What are your thoughts? Up next, discovering a half-sister who thinks your inheritance was always meant to be hers for the taking. Am I the a-hole for keeping the inheritance to myself? A friend of mine suggested posting here as she has forgotten some really good advice. Backstory. My dad, 61 male, cheated on my mom, 55 female, a year into the marriage. My mom found out relatively quickly due to the affair partner confronting my mom at work. They proceeded with a divorce soon after. Unfortunately, it took her a lot to get back onto her feet, emotionally and mentally, as she was pregnant with me when this all happened. My dad got together with the affair partner, never married, just been dating all these years, and had a girl. My dad and I have a great relationship. Am I the a-hole? Info. My dad recently died. As we live in a different city, the affair partner family held the wake and burial while my mother shelled out the cost for the entire thing. One last generosity for my father, he says. While attending it all, I came to contact with the affair partner and her daughter, Anne, 21 female. We didn't get to talk much, but we did hear the word will and inheritance coming from their mouths while mingling. At the time, I didn't really care, as I was pretty sure I wasn't getting much. My mom was super successful in her own right, and my father must have taken that to account. Things came to an end, and we left. A week later, I was informed by my dad's lawyer, dad's friend, and someone I consider an uncle, that I had inherited a good bit. I was plenty shocked, as it was burdensomely hefty but I went through the process of inheriting it as I was still his daughter, despite everything. Now, no less than a couple of days later, Anne contacted me through Facebook and asked if we could talk. We arranged a small date in the cafe on the next day and met early in the morning. We reminisced my dad a lot and shared a bit of our lives. Haven't talked to her in that much before. We had a good time for the first 2 hours before Anne opened the topic of the inheritance. I learned of the house and the money my dad left, but Anne claimed it was a minuscule amount. She shared it was hard to pay for college tuition and live normally. She also shared some of the other really hard situations you're going through, which I sympathized with. All of this sharing was to simply ask me for all of my inheritance. Not a chunk of a percentage, just all of it. I didn't agree, which may be selfish of me, but I did offer financing the remaining years of her undergrad to take some of that load off. I didn't offer anyone else. I didn't want to create a mess that I wouldn't account for, but Anne rejected the financing and demanded for all of the inheritance, as I wasn't a daughter to him like she was. I don't know what she meant by that. After rejecting her again and again, Anne began to curse me and my mother out. It was getting very scary and aggressive, so I had left when she started getting physical and violent. That was yesterday. I had asked my friends for advice. A good mix of them had told me that to finance her education anyways, and 2 of them had told me to just give her the inheritance, monetarily, to save the fuss. More of a joke. But I did consider that. I haven't told my mother as she doesn't like the affair partner and Anne. Am I the a-hole? Edit clarifications. I do not live in the West, but in SEA. It might not be a crazy amount for you guys, but it is for me in my currency. My dad is European who migrated here for marriage, while she is native and local C. Hope that makes a bit more sense. First comment from the peanut gallery goes like this. Han, particularly since you don't have any sort of relationship with her, you should always do with your own moral compass's guide, but I don't see how you could possibly be the a-hole here. The OP replies, I guess it's probably due to the Anne and affair partner having no income stream, minus the inheritance, while I have had my mother. They're having a tough time with everyday life, which is the main point everyone has been monitoring. Next person says, you need better friends. Why would you give her anything at all? She has a mother, and whether her inheritance was minuscule or not, has nothing to hide with you. You're definitely not the a-hole here, OP. Your father made a decision when he wrote that will. He had every opportunity to leave money for Anne or her mother, and he didn't. That's not your fault. It's his. And it's really telling that when Anne reached out, it wasn't to build a relationship with you, but to make a financial demand. Not a quest, a demand. For all of it, you even offered to help with her education, which is increasingly generous, considering you don't have any sort of relationship with her. But that also shows you're being more thoughtful and compassionate than most people would be in your shoes. What would you do in this situation? Let us know in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on the rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. See you next time.